12,000.
Well, what we did is we dropped it last year because we hadn't used it.
Yeah, because other years it was around 19,000.
Yeah,
In
and
2009, 2010 it was 19,000.
and we dropped it significantly from the
Right.
well, down to 6,500, but the reasonable estimation, based upon normal wear and tear, it's
And that's
fine.
something that you have control over, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, if a guy needs equipment, I mean, we can stretch it out. It's probably not
Yeah.
most desirable, but we have. Some stuff we don't if it's critical, but
Okay. Is that next computer expense, is that 14,000 or is it 34,000?
34,000. And the reason for that, that's the estimate of the contract, or, you know, the contract we will ask for, probably in 3 to 4 weeks with Cybertron. It's based on 44,000 or 8 hours per week.
44,000 is it charging?
Well, this is still being worked on. The latest estimate I have, and that's why that figure there of 34,000 isn't accurate right now. We've been talking about 4,500 per month, which is a fixed estimate. The challenge that I'm going to have is, well, what's in the contract and what's going to, you know, what can they charge over and above? Well, that's up for debate, really.
Can we, since the county has a contract with Cybertron, why can't we just add the sheriff's department to that and keep that expense down?
That would
Can we
be
negotiate
much.
with him?
Yeah, that
with
would be
Cybertron?
much better, and certainly preferred.
I guess the question though is, does he have to be there, does Cybertron have to be there 8 hours a day? Or available 8 hours a day?
Yeah, no, it's based on 16 hours per week,
16 hours per week.
plus an estimated 4 hours per week of unplanned events. To try to identify all the variables will be tough. The biggest challenge I have is, I'm not sure if we can set up a system where he's working remote on our stuff.
Okay.
And that's gonna change the matrix. And I haven't really, I introduced the topic to him, and his response was, well, you know, the price that I am proposing would that would change everything, so.
Yeah. We're going to renegotiate our contract with him for other reasons, but I don't see why we can't put yours in there too and have it under one contract and reduce the cost.
I would support that, and I also have other people advise me, you know, that are experts in the field, to say, you know, when you set up a contract for law enforcement, you gotta, or should have, the best practices of this, and this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's the point of matter right now.
And it would have to be separate from our complex because of the nature of your work.
And he's doing a lot of work offline. I mean, he's at a remote location. The cost or the cost of the county is the same,
Yeah.
whether he's in the building or he's remote, and I'm not sure about that exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
But things have to be discussed, and we have to do it pretty quickly too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He does want a contract, to cover our material from,
Mhm.
what I did is I said, I'll do 6 months. He wants a year, and he says, all right, can we do it for a year, but at 6 months, we do a reevaluation. I said, yeah, I can do that. So that's up in the air.
Okay.
So
I don't
I-
know when our contract is due,
Yeah.
but it ought to coincide with our contract.
First March 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's the same, but it's also very different too.
Yep. Okay.
So that number, I don't know what it is. That's an estimate at best right now.
Any idea what Dave Myers has been putting in for time? For
Well,
computers?
yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to compare him to Cybertron because he built the system.
Yep.
Now, we did a very robust handoff, which was probably at least 2 weeks,
Mhm.
where he came in and studied our system. He had Myers did engineering diagrams and the whole bit,
Yeah.
and which is a normal practice in the field. Because even though he knows IT, he needed to know
Your
how
IT.
ours is.
Yeah.
And so that's been accomplished, and I'm very pleased with it. Right now, there is no contract. There's only been talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Advertising, that's an estimate. If you look at what we spent this past year,
Yep. 1,400 plus. That was as of September.
and the reason why, why that exploded like that, and I use the term exploded, is because I have law enforcement openings, and I'm reaching anywhere where anybody will either I prefer that they're from Carroll County. But the pool and is just not there. So we advertised all over the place, and we still didn't get much of a response. But we still have some really good people in the pipeline, so. The advertising, I'm probably gonna be cautious about doing anything, New England-wise, as far as that, paid advertising.
Is the process, I know Robin Reed does all of the advertising for the rest of the complex. Is she tied into this too?
Yeah, she actually set up the advertising for us.
Okay.
And, and it worked out really well. We probably did it for a period of 2 or 3 weeks in the early part of the summer.
Okay. You see telephone jumping up?
Okay, phone. Line 68.
In 209 and 210, it was almost 13,000. And you cut it back last year to 11,900, and now we're back up to 13,200.
Yeah, this is the first full year that we've had that new, it's called VoIP. It's the same system the county bought, not the same product, but the same system. And this is the first full year that we've had that.
Okay.
It replaced that, 20-year system from 2010. I don't have the exact invoices as far as how that's laid out, but I can get it.
Okay.
But this new phone system was going to save us money. That's why it's put in.
We put it in because the old technology was fragile.
Yeah, the new phone system is saving money, but with the sheriff's also, we have the infrastructure with the dispatch center that if the phones go down, we need a number of backups just for the services, because we do dispatch for most of the county. And in doing that, we have implemented a number of backups that also cost money as well, like the voice over IP, 5 voice over IP lines. We have all that will kick in if we lose power and for some reason that blows, which it can do.
Mhm.
We have other phones that we can forward to and can still continue the services, because if for some reason that system does go down, there's probably something major going on in the county and our dispatch center is going to be busy.
Okay.
So
On the vehicle lease purchase,
Back up to radio communications.
radio,
Over the years, you haven't spent an awful lot of money in radio communications. Last year, you did budgeted 5,000. My record shows that you spent $16. You got a better figure in that one?
No, I don't, and I'm not sure what that is historically,
But you're budgeting for the same amount.
right.
That one, I think you
Do
need to.
you have an answer on that?
Yeah, our radios are getting, our portable radios and so forth are kind of at that max life, and the support for them is going out, and Motorola's not gonna support a lot of them anymore, so we have to look at starting to change over and getting more current. These are more than 10 years old in a lot of cases. I'm still trying to get a better feel on that, but I think that was anticipation of us having to update some things and some programming because of the new laws the federal feds are putting in and so forth.
Is there a reason why it didn't get done this year?
Uh,
We had budgeted for it, but
I don't know.
don't have the answer, okay.
If you change radios, do you have to change all radios at the same time?
No, because it's, it's a pretty high-tech piece of equipment where each one is individually programmed. The radios that you see the officers carrying, they run about maybe $3,200 a piece. They originally came in on a grant program. So they, came in new to everybody there, but I think they're going into their 6th year, so they're close to end of life.
Given that when you lease a car, whatever you call it, a vehicle, you do it incrementally, you don't lease all of the cars at the same time.
Right.
So
Right.
wouldn't it be reasonable to also have an incremental replacement for these radios? at the
Yes,
same
it
time?
would. What we've been doing, and what government generally, law enforcement, EMS has been doing, is this relying on grants. Well, we'll just wait till the grant comes through. And it's not good government, and it's certainly not good planning. And right now, we're seeing there aren't any grants.
Exactly.
So it's definitely somewhat of a vulnerable area. I don't know what that 1650 is.
Are there still bills coming in? This is not current, yes?
Right, yeah.
So there's still bills coming in?
Yeah, there are still bills coming in, but
Because this is still September.
I'm not sure what the breakdown is for the radio communications equipment.
Off the top of my head, my recommendation would be that since I only had the $16.50, but your bottom line is down by $600,000, why not, if you have the information as to the type of computers or whatever that you want to buy, why not buy some now out of that $5,000 that was budgeted and reduce that for next year's budget?
That's all being looked into already. We just don't have the answer for you as to what we're gonna buy or anything like that. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we are down because we've gone into some austerity measures,
Yeah.
beginning of before the last budget. And so what you're seeing is a whole shift in what we've been doing at the beginning.
Now,
How
we
we're
don't,
doing it.
this is as of September, so I'm sure you got more
Right.
coming in, but right now you're down 600,000.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
When you say down, do you mean below where?
Below what he
where
had budgeted.
expected budget would be at this time?
Right.
Right.
All right, thank you.
Most of that is salaries too, by the way.
Okay.
From the-
And my understanding is salary money is to be used for salaries, and that if it's not used for salaries, then it's turned back and it's not used for anything else.
That's the
Right.
guidance that we've been operating under, yes.
Okay. All right, move on to,
Vehicle purchases, vehicle lease purchase. We're continuing to phase out that lease business. And we kept the amount as the same as last year, that's line item 072. We have 15 vehicles. 6 of them are leased right now. 3 years ago, I believe they were all leased, with the exception of 1. Now, in 2012, of those 6, they're all gonna actually expire on the leases. So leases